Hello, welcome, episode 106. And we're back in the temple today, back in our adopted home, where we're just so much more happier and comfortable, Adam.
Yeah. It did. It felt like going, when you go somewhere that you've been before, you enjoyed it, you're going to have a good time, and it doesn't let you down. It just all fits back into place.
No need to consult the menu, I know what I'm having.
Yeah.
It's all good. So we're back with Season 2, Lucha Underground. We'll be recapping episodes 1 to 4. If you've not watched it, we recommend you watch it, because it's bloody awesome. And based on how they kick us off with at least these first 4 episodes, I was thinking, compared to the first 4 episodes of Season 1, you're obviously in a much different place, a much darker place. But yeah, it just starts with a firework right up the jacksy.
Oh yeah,
does it not? So we just go for it. Will we just get in?
Let's just go for it. Yeah.
Okay, let's start with episode 1, a much darker place.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, just before we start, let's remind ourselves, even at least where the temple was, as opposed, we don't have to go through everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dario Cueto on the run with his brother in a cage and the Black Lotus, who had killed a man.
Yeah.
Now,
seemed like it.
She'd killed a man.
Yeah.
We had a new champion in Mil Muertes, new trios champions in the Disciples of Death. We had Aerostar had shot off in the sky, and Drago had flew off in a fireball of fire.
Yeah. The love triangle heading off on their
bikes. Yeah. We had Marty the Moth. He had taken Sexy Star hostage. It appeared, and he was looking forward to introducing her to his sister. Pretty much it. We had Phoenix had won the Gift of the Gods title, and he appeared to be being tracked by King Cuerno.
Yes.
There's obviously a lot more characters, but those seem like the most significant.
Yeah.
And Pentagon Jr. and Vampiro appeared to be in cahoots together, and they were off to do nefarious things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much
fair recap.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get into it then. A much darker place.
And Conan's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to what is the last known behaviour of Conan? Because I can remember.
I think there was some sort of situation, maybe out with a match, where he ended up put in a coffin or something like that.
Did he?
I think so. And we just hadn't seen him since that moment happened, because it was all in the build to Mil Muertes taking the title from Prince Puma.
That's right. Okay. Excellent.
So, episode 1, a much darker place. I was trying to get my head around where we'd been, but it does all come together fairly quickly for you. And I also wondered, are there going to be all these new people, or are we going to be continuing with the main players from the previous season? I was a bit worried about that. So, that's all. Those concerns are eased fairly quickly. So we start off with Vampiro or Ian at a psychiatric medical facility, let's call it. He is being evaluated by a mental health professional who will or will not recommend his release and any terms of his release. We see him being asked about nightmares, hallucinations, violent thoughts, and as those questions come up, we're seeing little flashes of things that have happened with Vampiro in the sort of the later stages of season 1, let's say. He claims all these are gone. I mean, what we're seeing doesn't really feed into that. I think Vampiro's Ian's still struggling to keep Vampiro at bay here. I think he's prescribed a powerful antipsychotic medication and is told to avoid the people and places that trigger him. I immediately started thinking, are they just going to use him as an announcer again? Because remember, they brought in this guy And we were a bit like, this guy's too much.
Aye.
And I thought, oh no, can't be this guy. So I'm thinking, he's just going to lie to them. It's fine. He'll go back to the temple. He'll get on with his announcing duties. And then we're going to see, in his head, Vampiro murdering the doctor and the member of staff and taking a bite out of him. Yeah, he's not being completely honest about where he's at mentally here. We're going to then go to see Matt Stryker picking him up and saying they have been invited to the temple. But Stryker says he's from what he's heard, from what he's been told, it's not like it was. It's a much darker place now.
I like the idea. Well, this little start, this little introduction immediately made me think of Stranger Things. But Vampiro is 11.
Oh yeah,
they've both got the same haircut. And I also thought I would like a Scrubs-esque type show with Vampiro, but instead of like goofy things like JD has these silly thoughts and you see them playing out.
Yeah.
It's just Vampiro going about murdering people in his head. A bit like Michael Douglas in Falling Down, but it's Vampiro.
Yes, I like the sound of that. This is a slight divergence, but I saw something or heard something or read something that apparently not everyone has an inner monologue.
Oh,
and that freaked me out. I don't understand how people are that. No, let's just pretend that's not a thing.
We've had that conversation a lot in my house, and there are 3 of us who have quite active inner monologues. I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear, and one of us who has 0 inner monologue.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
I'd like to go a day without it, just to see what's...
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I do say shut up out loud, so... yeah. Are you suggesting that Vampiro's inner monologue is like, kill, kill, kill?
I think it might be, yeah. And you were tying in Scrubs there, and obviously JD at least made me think, oh, I'm normal, because this is a TV show about this, so everyone's got this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to the temple, and we are going to see Katerina in the office that was once Dario's. She is now the ruler. Or is she? Is it her? Is it Neil? Is it both of them? Well, we'll see how things play out.
She's got like a bit of an Egyptian kind of... What is the type of person I'm like the Egyptian woman with the black hair.
A pharaoh.
Yeah, a bit like that, with like the very straight haircut. She looks unbelievable.
Yeah, Katerina bringing it immediately. We see Phoenix, who wants his title shot, but Katerina says he's got the Gift of the Gods championship. Katerina says he must wait until at least next week. If he can retain his Gift of the Gods title, he is going to face King Cuerno tonight for that title. Then, if he retains that, he can worry about a championship match. Now, we are going to see... I was in 2 minds about this, because I initially thought, but we'll come to this later, is Dario just gone? Because we saw him doing a runner, and, he was with others. He was with his brother, who we're all desperate to see a bit more of, because, he seemed like a dangerous animal type.
He eats people, apparently, so...
Yeah, and he was with Black Lotus, who also killed a guy. So I was thinking, they can't just let this go. They have to bring this back. But I suppose they could bring it back without Dario. So I was a wee bit concerned. But at the same time, Katerina can basically take charge of whatever she wants to take charge of. We see Mil Muertes sitting on a throne, just off the side from the ring and the steps. So this is going to be an ongoing theme. I quite like this. Him just watching over everything, just sitting there. He's obviously he's the champion, and they are very much in charge and control, and it feels like that, and it looks like that. And you're immediately thinking, well, how can anyone really do anything about this? He seemed kind of unstoppable, especially in the sort of run-in towards the end of season 1, and he's got the belt. So, yeah. We are going to...
if he ever needs to nip down for the toilet. I suppose he's undead or something, isn't he? So
yeah, he wouldn't have
maybe
to
got a wee... Yeah, okay.
We're going to get our first match. we are going to have the Gift of the Gods title match straight away. It's going to be the champion, Phoenix, against King Cuerno. And the Gift of the Gods championship, as a reminder, means that you can challenge for a title match. However, while you have the Gift of the Gods title, you have to defend it. So, interesting sort of scenario with this belt, because people can come for it if you wait too long to get your opportunity. Delighted to see Melissa back as ring announcer. We are the main difference, I think, with the Gift of the Gods is no surprise cash-ins. So, like, no run-in cash-ins. Dario was very clear that he had to give people, he had to be given the chance to promote the match. So, you can't just get somebody coming down at the end of a grueling match and say, I'm taking my shot now. We get a fast start to the match. I think I've got in my notes, I immediately feel like I'm back in the temple. I've missed this. Quite a few high-impact moves on the go. Cuerno with a DDT on Phoenix to the floor from the apron. We get King Cuerno with his, they call it arrow from the depths of hell, his suicide dive.
Yeah.
King Cuerno in control for this period of the match. Little bit of a comeback by Phoenix, springboard drop kick, springboard stunner or cutter, corkscrew dive over the top rope onto the floor.
That was insane.
Yeah, some serious airtime some of these guys get.
Crazy.
King Cuerno with a flying forearm to stop the momentum from Phoenix. Then Phoenix with another springboard cutter and then holds on in an inverted sleeper hold. It's kind of a new one to me, the way that was done. King Cuerno counters, gets Phoenix into a surfboard submission hold. Big forearm and uppercut, double stomp to the back of the head while Cuerno was on the turnbuckle. Phoenix now in full control again. But then we're going to go towards the thrill of the hunt by King Cuerno, but Phoenix kicks out. I think that was a fairly well protected move in season 1.
Yeah.
Phoenix runs right into... No, I think that's the other way around. Cuerno runs right into a head kick. And then Phoenix misses his springboard splash. King Cuerno with a tombstone pile driver type move, but it looks different. I'm not sure how to describe it. That's what I have in my notes for that.
I've described it like a package tombstone.
Okay.
So he's got them all sort of together and spins round, but it looks he lands on his head like 100% lands on his. Hulk Hogan couldn't take that one.
And this new move with the all of its people landing on their headness is going to get King Cuerno the pin win. So he now holds the Gift of the Gods Championship, and he can now hunt Mil Muertes.
Amazing. What a beautiful way to start a new season with these two, eh?
Yeah, and straight away into this title match, which obviously has an impact on any Lucha Underground title scenario that's on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't slow in kicking things off.
Nah, 100% some match. I don't remember if these two have had matches, do you?
I didn't remember them having a one-on-one match. I think they were involved in some multi-person matches at times.
I feel like they do this, maybe it's just organic, that people match up in this series so well. Like these two just feel like they're meant to wrestle against each other.
Yeah, you can see these two having a series of matches without doubt. We are going to see the Love Triangle team arrive at the building. They tell Katarina that they want their trios titles back. But Katarina says no. Mil wants to see them fight each other. So Havoc, Son of Havoc comments that they spent the last year trying to get on the same page. They don't want to fight each other now. But Katarina's going to sweeten the deal a wee bit. She says that Mil has said whoever wins the fight between these three individuals will get a title shot against him.
She didn't say tonight, though, did she?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so either.
That would have been a big no thank you from me, but the Love Triangle, especially Evilise, they're all in for this. Ivelisse getting a wee bit sassy with Katarina.
Well, they've got a bit of a history
They do.
with the trios titles.
Yes.
Do you
So,
know that? Can I just say
Yeah.
something really random? Do you not think Son of Havoc would make an amazing voice for a cartoon dog? Or when I was going to say, I was thinking the three of them actually would make for an amazing animated series. Like Ivelisse could be a cat, and
Yep.
like Angelico would be like a llama or something.
oh wow, you've put a lot of thought into this.
No,
You
just
should get in touch with them.
that came off the top of my head. I just feel like Son of Havoc's got that kind of voice that's lend itself to something amusing.
Yeah, I like
Anyway.
that. We are going to go straight into this number one contender match. Now, again, we talked about this in season 1. The announcers are not getting the benefit of seeing what we've just seen backstage. So from their point of view, what we're about to see is Katarina come out and whisper, rather seductively, something to Melissa Santos. Melissa announces to the TV audience the live crowd audience, what we had just heard on the TV, that there is going to be this triple threat match to become the number one contender for the Lucha Underground Championship. So each participant comes out getting quite a shocked reaction. I think the first one that comes out gets a big shock reaction from Matt Striker. And then when the second one comes out, he then makes the assumption about who the third is going to be, because he knows the way that Katarina operates. So we get a little interlude, Katarina talking to King Cuerno. She's saying to him to remember their deal. He says that neither Katarina nor Mil have anything to worry about. So he now holds the Gift of the Gods Championship, but that is not sounding like he is going to be making plans to cash that in.
Yeah, is that what you're speculating? That he's essentially just line them up and I'll knock them down before they even get to Mil Muertes?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Smart.
This is quite a chaotic, quite a fast-paced match. Nearly a couple of quick wins, I think one each for Ivelisse and Angelico. Ivelisse gets frustrated with Angelico and then with Havoc, and then there's a kick and a slap and things are all breaking down. If these guys were on the same page for a while, they very quickly don't seem to be now. Ivelisse crossbody block off the top onto Angelico, but Havoc's going to break the count because he knows what's at stake here. And I'm sure Vampiro says at that moment on commentary, looks like he's done that before. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, did he mean Havoc pulling another guy off first?
I think that's exactly what I meant.
Okay. Fair enough, Vampiro. Ivelisse gets caught in a backbreaker by Havoc. Suicide dive by Havoc on Angelico. Ivelisse is the next to fly. It's nice to see all of these looking healthy. Ivelisse was certainly carrying a leg injury.
A long-term injury.
Oh, yeah. Probably covered about 10 episodes, so maybe about 3 weeks or something like that. Havoc was about to hit his splash on Angelico, but Ivelisse crutches him on the top rope. Ivelisse gets a cradle pin on Angelico for the win. Ivelisse is going to get the title opportunity up against Mil Muertes.
I like Ivelisse. I think she's a good character in this show. I was thinking, and Son of Havoc. Like I think he's definitely the underdog one of the underdogs that we grew up with across season 1. I think I just find myself getting a little bit annoyed by Angelico. But do you know what? If he wasn't in this trio, I feel like he would just be lost in amongst it all and just be putting on random matches and doing knees. Yeah,
I think we talked towards the end of last season about he'd done a couple of ridiculous, audacious flying moves off like the office roof and the balcony and stuff like that, and then you find yourself in that sort of Jeff Hardy conundrum about, well, what's next? That's fine, but how do you top that? We are going to go to a clip that pops up saying 375 miles from Boyle Heights. There are 3 guys in a car looking a bit lost. Black Lotus appears at the window, asking them, "Are you guys lost?" They're looking for an underground fighting place in that area, and she tells them to come with her. Now, I'm thinking, in that area, it's not the temple, because that's 375 miles away, so I'm thinking, what's going on here?
They're looking for Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon.
Oh, wow. Oh, I managed to forget about that. We're going to get now the Lucha Underground title match. So, as you mentioned, I don't think it had been said that what you could win is this match now, straight after you've just earned the right. But, Mil and Katarina are going to be playing some games here. So, the Love Triangle lads have got Ivalice's back, but she's going to be a bit up against it here as she challenges Mil. And the Disciples of Death are coming out as well, so you're not even going to get any kind of numbers advantage here for Ivalice. Disciples of Death attack and remove Havoc and Angelico. Excuse me a second. It's just gone a bit thundery here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing your song, or you could be all right?
No, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I just started wondering, are the cats in or out? We've got, they remove Havoc and Angelico while Mil Muertes holds back Ivalice. So, yeah, she's very much going to be up against it here. Ivalice, she's trying to go on the attack. It's nothing's really phasing Mil. He's just kind of pushing her away. We get Mil stretching her in a backbreaker position. Ivalice gets a choke on briefly, but Mil turns it into a bear hug, pulls her down to the mat, choking her. Ivalice gets an armbar on, and then applies it in the ropes, but it's brief. But she did seem to do some damage. Ivalice gets a tornado DDT for a 2. Did you start thinking at any point here that she could win?
I think there's at one point she rolls him up, and I thought, surely no. Surely no.
The only thing that was crossing my mind was they've done an awful lot in this episode. Like, they're clearly not scared of going to hell for leather in episode 1. Katarina is in the ring and she's holding up those stones. I forget what they're called, but they're basically like a power.
Meal stones,
Yeah. And Ivalice is going to go and try and choke her. But Mil runs to go for a spear and hits Katarina.
That's the second time he's done that. I would be starting questioning things if I was her.
I've got here, it's been a wild episode 1, but Mil losing the title to Ivalice would be a bit nuts. As she gets a 2 count with a schoolboy. She runs into a power slam by Mil, and then he hits the flatliner to retain. That very much came across as enough of this nonsense. I'm ending it here. So he was done playing around after the spear to Katarina. Katarina looks like she's about to do the lick of death on Ivalice, but she stops and tells Mil that he needs to be doing some more damage here. Prince Puma appears and makes the save with a super kick and gets Ivalice out of there. Mil Muertes stares at Puma. Pentagon Jr. is going to appear behind Mil Muertes. He takes Mil down with the backbreaker, and then he breaks the arm of Mil Muertes.
Crazy.
Oh.
What do you think of Vampiro's face at this point?
Yeah, so Vampiro is... Obviously, we saw him as the master for Pentagon. But I try to remember, because some of it runs together in my head. At this stage, he hasn't really said anything about Pentagon, has he? Because he hasn't been scheduled for a match. So, he looks a bit shocked, but, not necessarily appalled by what's going on here.
Yeah, I wondered if he looked a little bit almost hypnotised or trance-like.
Yeah. Fascinating, because we've now got a champion with a broken arm. Now, to be fair, some of the other performers healed pretty quick from their broken arms. Others didn't. Others we never saw again.
Well, this guy must definitely heal quick, because he sits on a throne and he's apparently dead. So it'll be fine. Like Deadpool style, just grow back or something.
Yeah. We are going to flip to the car with Black Lotus and those guys who were looking for their place to fight. We are going to see Dario Cueto. So our guy's back. Dario is back in the building. He has that key around his neck that he had before in the previous season. The Black Lotus tells him that these guys are looking for some underground fighting place. Dario warns them it can get violent inside. They ask what that chick is doing here. Black Lotus kicks one of the guys' asses. And Dario charges them, I think is it $20 each. And they go in and they're asking who is fighting tonight. Dario says, "You are," and then we hear some potential murder noises behind that door.
Nice. Oh, Dario, how we've missed you.
So that's going to close out episode 1. What do you think?
Oh, amazing. Just a beautiful return.
Yeah.
I don't think it could have... Between Pentagon breaking Mil Muertes' arm, between King Cuerno and Phoenix going at it, perfect episode for me. And the stuff with Vampiro to start with, him being in that, what appeared to be some sort of like mental health sort of play, it was just amazing. So cinematic.
Yeah, we messaged back and forward about this when you were watching it or had just watched it, like saying how shit it would seem if WWE were doing that right now, but it just works in Lucha Underground.
Total like B-movie style stuff. It's just brilliant.
I had thought they might ease us back in, but I think they've very much taken the approach that everyone who's watching this watched season 1, so let's just get straight back into it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to episode 2, which was called The Dark and the Mysterious. Mysterious. We kick off in the gym with Prince Puma. Do you think Prince Puma's got a bit of an aggressive streak to him this season already?
Does seem to, a bit of an attitude change.
Angry, yeah.
Yeah.
Penta approaches him rather strangely from behind, and he wants to thank him for helping him to please his master. Imagine somebody came up to you and said that to you.
Yeah.
But he said, tonight they'll both be pleasing his master as his partner. They're going to break bones. But he then chuckles and says, but after that, Puma will be next for him to break bones. And then they have this like Matrix-esque Tarantino-style fight in the locker room with full-on sound effects and everything. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Which ends with Puma pinning Pentagon against the wall. There's growling noises like a puma in the background, but I was like, please didn't make that a thing that's what's coming out of his mouth. Did you just think it was in the background?
No, I did worry about that a wee bit, just because he didn't speak in season 1, but he had Conan. And now I do have a little bit of a concern about, are they going to do something a bit out there?
When Penta was speaking to him, he looked like a wee schoolboy because he just sort of stood there, like not saying anything, just looking at him.
Yeah. He's actually, one of the things we talked about when we first started watching this was my fear that people wouldn't be able to show emotion. He's actually very good at it, Puma Ricochet under the mask, because it must be harder under a mask. But, he has his, body movements and his, just his head going down and things like that. It does it pretty well.
So we jump from that to Matt Stryker and Vampiro, and Stryker asks if Pentagon is acting on orders from Vampiro. And I was just thinking about this. I assume he's talking about what he did to Mil Muertes, as opposed to what we just saw, because they wouldn't have saw that. So they must have been talking about Muertes getting his arm broken. He sat up there on his throne with his arm in a sling, which is quite a funny visual of this sort of mythical creature sitting with his arm in a sling.
Yeah.
And they take us to our first match, which is Johnny Mundo versus Killshot, which is, again, like two guys matched up. A really, really good match. I feel like with Killshot, he's in season 1 presented as this really good wrestler, but never really got anywhere. Never got any momentum. Never really. Even he was first introduced with Rick and the Mac, but even then they ended up sort of going their separate ways and just having the odd match more than anything else. Killswitch got some great kicks on the go. I was enjoying the Johnny Zero chant going on from the crowd.
Yeah.
There was something, it's maybe in a later episode, I think it was, but Vampiro, do you think Vampiro, I wanted to ask you this, does he do this intentionally where he says, I really like Johnny Mundo now, I love his arrogance, I love the way that he's acting, and then, like, almost literally, he then goes, oh, he's taking too much time playing to the crowd, that was stupid. It's just, like, that must be intentional.
I think it must be, because if you think about the way he does his interview styles as well, where he's like, he loves the person, then he's having a go at them, and then he's
squaring up to them.
Yeah, I think it will be intentional.
We get a lovely. There's like every match. There's some really, really good. It was that match that Vampiro said that I've got it there in my notes. There's some great stuff. There's this lovely combination by Killswitch where he ends up hitting a DDT from the second turnbuckle, and then climbs straight up, hits a 450, which for me should have ended the match. But hey, it's Lucha Underground. Yeah. He got a 2. We get poor Rick Knox, who must take a bump every single match. Why would he continue refereeing? He takes a slight bump, which allows Johnny Mundo to hit probably the greatest low blow I've ever seen performed. He throws Killswitch up in the air and then backwards kicks him behind him like a no look pass, but it's a low blow. It was incredible. And after that, it's end of the world and it's over.
You must have been watching a fair amount of AEW because you kept calling him Killswitch.
Oh, did I?
Kill shot.
My bad. Kill shot. Sorry. That's in my notes. Is Killswitch. Oh man. It's going to get even worse when Luchasaurus comes into Lucha Underground. That's going to get confusing.
Well, this is a good match though, because like until the end, and there was the advantage of the ref bump and the low blow and things like that, they played it as a really competitive match. Johnny's had a few like that. He's good at, I think, doing that and helping elevate the other guy. And it feels like, of all places, Lucha Underground, it's a place where you can go and it can take a little while, and then all of a sudden you can burst, I think, and become a bigger deal. You get a lot of guys losing matches early on and then becoming a focal point. So.
Yeah, 100%. Johnny grabs the mic after the match. He tells Mil Muertes that the earthquake that shook him up as a little boy wasn't anything compared to when the end of the world hits him. What a fucking bar that is, by the way, Johnny Mundo.
Funny.
But he gets interrupted by a newly Mohicaned Cage.
Yeah.
He tells Mil that he'll break him in half once he's ready. And I was like, what's he talking about me injured? I'd completely forgotten that Pentagon had snapped his arm. Only, I was watching these episodes back to back. I don't know what that's all about. I loved it. So Cage is like, because I'm not a man. And Johnny Mundo's like, yeah, you're a machine. We get it. It's almost like he's been listening to us, because we laugh at that every time.
Oh, yeah.
But Cage makes his way down to the ring. They have a bit of a square off, and Johnny hightails it, classic heel behaviour. But as soon as Cage turns his back, Johnny attacks him, but he still gets his ass kicked anyway. Cage's looking good.
Yes, yeah. I'm wondering if this is the season where he's just going to wreck everyone.
Oh, please. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Imagine how happy Melissa would be. Okay, this is gets weird. We're in a weird sort of Andy Peters' broom cupboard type situation. Thankfully, he's not there, but Marty the Moth Martinez is there, as is a poor-looking sexy star who is she looks traumatized, is what she does. She's tied up, and Marty the Moth has a huge... What is it, a butterfly? Like, I get his name's Marty the Moth, but I think he said it's a butterfly.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Is he referring to that as his sister?
he might be, but then yeah, it's surely going to be someone, but he's just doing this for now.
Okay, so he says it's almost time for Sexy Star to stretch her wings and fly back to the tempo. But him and his sister are coming with her.
Mm-hmm.
And this is possibly the most unhinged we've seen Marty behave.
Yes.
Since we've been introduced to him. And I'm digging that. I like it.
Yeah, I like, I was a Marty guy.
Yeah.
And then, when you kidnap somebody, I'm thinking, I've maybe, backed the wrong kind of person here. But yeah, he's definitely problematic. But let's just see where it goes.
Okay. Yeah. Redeemable.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a video package for a guy who says he's addicted to anger and likes wolves. Put it in your dating profile, mate. Wouldn't care. He beats up two guys in luchador masks, and it's revealed that his name is the Darewolf, PJ Black. And when he started speaking, I realised that it was Justin Gabriel of.
Yeah.
He was actually in main roster WWE, wasn't he?
Yeah. So when they did the thing, when they did NXT, the first group of guys that came out of NXT were referred to as the Nexus, and they kind of tried to take over the main roster. And there were some very recognisable names. There was Bryan Danielson was in there, and Wade Barrett was in there, and I'm absolutely sure that this guy was one of them as well.
Oh, he was an original. Okay. Right.
Yeah, and it didn't last that long because I think they, in the end, had Cena squash them in like a 5-on-1 match or something like that. But it got a bit of traction right at the start.
Okay. So we're introduced to the Darewolf. That's not a good name, is it? The Darewolf.
No, it reminded me of Danger Wolf from
Kirkcaldy. Yeah, that's a better name. Danger Wolf than Darewolf. I just kept thinking of Direwolf from Game of Thrones. So they're throwing this guy into the deep end against the Mac. Our boy, he's still just kicking about in his pants. And you love to see it, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Vampiro is having a delightful time just tearing into Matt Striker. I think because Striker hosted NXT and it's like he was having a hard time referring to him as PJ Black, or was Vampiro saying that he was having a hard time? He's like, you're just going to have to call him Darewolf.
Had a hard time once. I think he only misstepped on it once, and then Vampiro started tearing into him, and then I think started really enjoying tearing into him about it. And he definitely got Striker a bit because he was laughing. He couldn't stop laughing.
Class. I think this guy just reminded me of Jack Evans, where he was a bit plain looking, clearly incredibly athletic, but I think the difference between the guys that we end up gravitating towards and don't is what's the character going to be and what are they going to be involved in and stuff. So we'll see with this guy. He's obviously good in the ring. He hits what I called a blue thunder bomb, which looked lovely. Striker referred to it as a black to the future, and I was not keen on that name.
Yeah.
At all. Thankfully for everyone involved, our boy the Mac manages to hit a stunner as PJ Black is coming off the ropes with some sort of springboard, nothing. And yeah, I think that is quite good evidence of what you were saying. New guys don't always get the wins straight away and take a few defeats or whatever. So
yeah, and it's a tough match. It's up against the Mac.
Aye, it's not like he's in there. I'm trying to think, what are some of the jobbers actually called? Famous B, that sort of stereotypically Italian named guy seems to just get his ass kicked. I can't remember what he was called.
Yeah, there were 3 or 4 of them, weren't there? Yeah.
We then get a video package for another new wrestler, a new luchador, I should say, a new female who's going to be, we're going to see in maybe the next episode. Her name is Cobra Moon. We can talk about her in the next episode when she debuts, but she is Thunder Rosa, who wrestles in AEW.
Yeah.
Our main event is going to be a handicap match between the Trios champions, the Disciples of Death, taking on Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. First thing I noticed was that Melissa will never forget what Pentagon did to her. She does not enjoy announcing him, I should say. I think, can he not enjoy a Puma or a Pentagon match? I started referring to one of the Disciples of Death as number 13, then realised that I think they maybe all have 13 on their masks.
Okay.
So that's going to be a problem. But
yeah, I don't have any way of differentiating.
Stryker keeps saying all their different names. It's like, nah. Like Purple Skeletor, Gold Skeletor. They do, to be fair to them, they do execute some pretty decent like tag team type moves, which normally you and I would gravitate towards, but the masks and the characters,
just not and the character never. The characters never clicked.
No.
Yeah.
Puma. This match is all about building a bit of animosity between Puma and Pentagon.
Yeah.
They're at each other's throats. Basically, it's like take care of these guys, and then we can square up to each other. Quite a lot. There's stuff like Pentagon hitting a dive as Puma's going to hit a dive, like getting in front of him, and sort of. It's almost like they're stealing each other's thunder a little bit, which is uncharacteristic of the Puma that we probably knew in season 1.
Yeah, he was a bit more
very like fresh meat, babyface type.
Yeah, he would stand in the background a bit, whereas this version's not for that.
Vampiro keeps saying he loves. Vampiro keeps saying, because Stryker's been a little bit cheeky and he keeps asking him about Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he doesn't know that he's been told to stay away from individuals who trigger him, but Stryker keeps prodding about Pentagon. He says, I love you. He keeps saying, I love you, Matt, but stop asking me about him. It doesn't seem to bother him later on, though. That's the thing. But how do we get to finish? Puma hits a 6:30 or 7:20 on the legal man, but as he's climbing the top, Pentagon tags him and just walks in and pins the guy, and that's enough to sort of set them off again to going face to face. We get Pentagon hitting a lung blower on Puma and trying to break his arm, but Puma manages to escape.
Yeah.
You can't break everybody's arm. We'll know of a show, but it's fun to watch. Now that takes us to the post-credits scene, which is like Marvel-esque. We get a guy wearing the what is his name? Azteca.
El Dragon Azteca.
So there's a guy with the green mask on. Now, according to us, and from what we've last saw, he is dead, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get the impression this is his son?
Yeah. Certainly somebody taking on that name and that character, because I think they've said before that character will live forever. So, yeah.
Okay. A bit like Black Panther, right? So, could he be El Hijo del Dragon Azteca? Perhaps. We shall see.
Yeah.
Basically, this guy's getting a bit of a background in the history of his family and the heritage and all that sort of stuff, and it's revealed to be Rey fucking Mysterio.
Yeah. As soon as I heard the voice, I thought, that's Rey Mysterio. And then I thought, no, it's not. And then I thought, he does come to Lucha Underground. It happens. So, yeah.
He looks so cool.
Yeah.
So, that's just an absolute cliffhanger as well.
Yeah.
So, another episode. Would you enjoy episode 2?
Yeah, enjoyed it. I was very much enjoyed the Johnny Mundo Killshot match. It was a good match.
Yep.
Happy to see the Mac kicking ass.
Definitely.
And then, the Disciples of Death don't really work for me at the moment, but to see the Prince Puma Pentagon, which is obviously a direction things are going to head towards it just intrigues me. I'm enjoying that. I think they could have some great matches between them, and then, just the little things that are going on with Vampiro with the whole situation as well. Yeah. entertaining. Enjoyed it.
It's quite cool that we went that whole season and Pentagon was nowhere near any sort of title conversation. He always had other things on the go, and then from this season they've just said that's the guy, which is good for us, I think.
It immediately seems like, he's a featured player now. He's going to be near the top of the card.
Yeah.
All good.
Okay.
So, episode 3, The Hunt is On. We get a recap some of the recent stories with Pentagon, Prince Puma, Mil Muertes and King Cuerno. We are going to, fairly briefly, I think, without much else going on, head towards our first match. We are going to have the returning Bengala up against the debuting Cobra Moon. So there is intensity, I would say, about Cobra Moon right from the off in this.
In the ring intensity, or
overall, I would say. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the tongue flicking?
That's each to their own.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't for me. It was making me highly uncomfortable.
But I was thinking at some point we're bound to end up in a Cobra Moon against Sexy Star type situation. But obviously Sexy Star's got a few things to deal with at the moment.
Yep.
We get a Hurricane Rana to the floor by Cobra Moon. Bengala, who I think you quite enjoyed last season. It's just kind of there for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, after getting over the sort of Cats presentation, he was doing some pretty fun stuff.
I think I'm still on the presentation. Kicks and flying headbutt by Bengala. And a nasty looking, although I'm sure safe, head kick by Bengala while Cobra's in kind of a seating position. Bengala's going to fly off the top, but the knees are up. Cobra Moon gets the knees up. And then we're going to get a snake sleeper by Cobra, who is then going to add a body scissors onto the hold, and Bengala's going to tap out. So we've talked plenty about, people often not winning on debut in the temple, but it's a win for Cobra Moon.
With an asterisk against Bengala.
Against Bengala, yeah.
Did you think he was scratching her to get, when he was tapping, it looked like he was like clawing her, but then he just sort of tapped out?
I didn't really notice, but that's maybe part of the character, I suppose.
I think it was. He's dedicated.
It's no laughing matter, a cat scratch. We're going to go to the back and get Phoenix asking Katerina for a rematch against King Cuerno. He wants his Gift of the Gods title back. Katerina is just kind of enjoying herself, playing a bit with Phoenix, talking about the stuff they've been through together. Poor Phoenix, kind of used as a pawn by Katerina in the Mil Muertes situation before.
Poor Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. A volunteer as tribute if it happens again.
Yeah. I can't think, do they actually say here he's going to get another match, but it's not going to be for the title, or is that
No, I don't think so.
No. We get, we're taken back to ancient times and told the man on the moon has returned.
David Bowie.
I'll just read it as is in my notes. Who is this lad? Talking about ancient tribes. The tribes must unite to battle what is coming. And I've got, is that Aerostar? And then I've got, if it is, I think he's got a slightly different look, but maybe it's not him at all.
It was definitely him. He looked cool.
Okay, yeah. Was there something different about the look? Just
yes,
the outfit,
definitely.
Yeah.
It was a bit flashy Jericho jacket. I think.
Yeah. I mean, it all made sense if Man on the Moon, that being Aerostar. It just didn't immediately click for me. We have Katerina with King Cuerno. She says, you took the title, but you didn't destroy the man. He says, King Cuerno says, your wounded animal is safe from Phoenix. She says, even a wounded Mil Muertes is too much for any hunter. And then she's doing a bit more of her seductive stuff. She wants King Cuerno to kill Phoenix once and for all in a last lucha standing match. That's here where it said no title will be on the line, but she wants him to finish Phoenix for good. Yeah. So they're kind of playing into the fact that Phoenix gave Mil Muertes quite a few issues in the past rivalry between the two here. So she specifically does not want him being a challenger for the title.
It's almost like he continues to rise from the ashes after he's been killed.
Yeah. Going to go into our next match. We have your boy, Jack Evans, who is...
No, yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
He's on my stable of boys.
Who is going to go up against Drago. Drago, he got quite a lot of story in season 1. Like, he was, involved in Trilogy. There was a Best of 5.
Best of 5
series. And he also won a title opportunity, didn't win the title, and then got banished from the temple, found a loophole to come back because he had previously challenged for the title before. So he had a lot of story going on in the past, Drago. Jack Evans came in mid-season and, does his walking on his hands stuff. Match starts, Jack Evans being cocky. He knocks Drago down. We get a whole flurry of quick moves and counters between the two. We get Drago attempting a submission, but Jack Evans bites his hand. Spinning kick by Evans gets him a 2 count. Jack Evans perched on the turnbuckle. Drago jumps up, kicks his head through his legs. Yeah, because he's on the turnbuckle, but
it's a good job you'd watched that, because I tried to describe that. It sounds horrendous. Kicked his head through his legs.
Yeah. We get Drago with a springboard arm drag, sending Evans out of the ring. Drago off the top. Both he and Evans are down after a splash. We have a DDT by Drago for a 2. Then in my notes, I don't know what to call that move, but Drago flipped Evans and landed him on his head and shoulders.
Yeah, it was good. I think we've seen him do it before. It's like a Mexican destroyer DDT type.
Yeah. Evans with a backslide. That move where he kind of does the backslide, then puts his own legs over the top of the opponent. It's a unique one.
It's a winner.
And gets the win despite his feet being on the ropes. Now that's fine. But here's where I take issue with your guy.
Oh, right.
Because he's going to disrespect Melissa Santos. She's about to make the announcement, but he takes the mic and he says, "Let a professional handle this." Jack Evans announces himself as the winner and adds a new moniker to his name, the Dragon Slayer. Oh.
Makes sense.
Oh, Drago's not going to like that.
He doesn't strike me as a man who cuts many promos, Jack Evans.
Nah, probably not. We're going to get a video package for, it's our guy, it's Tayano. We see him as like being a cowboy on a ranch, but also talking about his achievements, his heritage, and the issues he's experienced with Chavo Guerrero. He ends up in like this bar situation, and the barmaid doesn't give a fuck about the mess that, especially the mess that Tayano is making. Nobody seemed to get thrown out of the situation, but Tayano just kicks about 20 guys' asses. And then we hear that he is going to be back next week, which is quite exciting because we like him. We're going to go to Prince Puma, segment in the back. He's still just doing that. They're playing into it on commentary. He just looks a bit lost. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't quite know what to do with himself because he doesn't have the guidance of Conan anymore. Katerina appears and asks him who he prays to. She said she heard Conan praying as his life drained from him in the casket.
God damn.
Right, Katerina.
Jesus. Savage.
Yeah, you have to take the rough with the smooth with her. You know, she's a bit brutal.
More than happy.
She asks if it will be him that makes a sacrifice in honor of his master. God rest his soul. So obviously a reference to the situation with Pentagon there. We're going to go to last Lucha standing match. So again, Phoenix against Cuerno. But here, the Gift of the Gods Championship is not at stake. However, Striker seemed to think it was at stake. But Vampiro seems to be in the know here, correcting him that no, it's not. And how do you know? Seemed to be answered by a because it's false count anywhere or something like that. I was thinking, I'm not sure that's enough of an explanation as to why it's not up for grabs here. It's not up for grabs here because Katarina wasn't approving it being up for grabs here. She doesn't want Phoenix with the Gift of the Gods title because he has shown some vulnerability in Mil Muertes in the past. Rules here, whoever cannot answer the count of 10 loses the match. I think we've had a last luchador standing before.
I'm not sure if we have or not. I don't remember.
Okay.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, I think we have.
So we've got the announcers are playing into some of the psychology here as some of the moves are taking place, that you basically need to back off your man for the ref to start making his 10 count, whereas you may want to start doing some more damage, so you need to make a decision of have I inflicted enough here to get the ref starting the count. King Cuerno is in control early on in the match. They're fighting out into the crowd, and it's basically just King Cuerno kicking Phoenix's ass.
Yeah.
He's taken a hell of a beating, but it's Phoenix, so he's not going to stay down. Phoenix missile drop kick, which kind of came across a bit of a desperation trying to get back into things move. We get a corkscrew leap off the turnbuckle onto Cuerno on the floor. That gets, I think the referee's count gets to about 7 on that one. Phoenix with another big leap on Cuerno, and this time it gets to a 9 count. We get the arrow from the depths of hell by King Cuerno, and I've got in my notes, I don't know what differentiates this one between the other ones. I've got in my notes, that one was really cool. He leapt really near the turnbuckle because of where Phoenix was positioned.
Yeah, he did it like diagonally across the ring. It was cool.
Nice. King Cuerno charges at Phoenix with a ladder, smacks him with the top of it. King Cuerno now has a table, tries to German suplex Phoenix through it, but he fights Cuerno off and gets a kick to daze Cuerno. Phoenix climbs the wall, and Cuerno follows him, climbing up the ladder. When Phoenix gets to the top, he kicks the ladder away from the wall, sending King Cuerno backwards and through the table.
Some Tom and Jerry shit.
The ref starts the count, and King Cuerno cannot recover. Phoenix is going to get the win.
No wonder that bump looked brutal.
Yeah, I was trying to think how you're controlling it. I suppose as long as the table's positioned right, hopefully you won't just smack your head off the ground, but yeah, risky.
Got the ladder coming down on you as well.
Yeah. Mil Muertes is furious, and Katarina will be too.
Did you see Mil Muertes like rocking back and forwards during the match? It was a bit weird.
We get immediate speculation from Striker that Phoenix now deserves another shot at the Gift of the Gods title. Hard one to argue that. He just beat the guy. Right, now
revelations.
We're going to switch things up a little bit here. So, we go into like what looks like a police station type environment all of a sudden, out of nowhere. And I've got in my notes immediately, is that one of the crew? So we've got like what seems to be a chief on one side of the table and what looks like one of the crew on the other side of the table. They're talking about Katarina giving the crew an open invitation to compete, and this guy is saying he's pretty tight with Chavo Guerrero, and I'm like, it's definitely one of the crew. But the captain's had enough of all this chat and wants to know the whereabouts of Dario Cueto. Neither of them sound very concerned about what they both acknowledge as a murder of Bale.
Yeah, she does not care about anything small. It's like, nah, that's small time nonsense. Yeah, I want Dario Cueto on a plate.
Then we're getting this other detective who's appearing like in the doorway, who I have a horrible feeling is Joey Ryan. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is your classic, like, moustached, a bit sleazy cop from, your 70s, 80s TV shows. Just think Beastie Boys Sabotage Video.
Yeah.
He's got that look down. They are being told, to be at the temple. They don't have to pretend that they know each other. They don't have to pretend that they like each other. This isn't going to be a problem. These two do not like each other. And they're in the same line of work. They're not pals. I've got, oh no, that was Joey Ryan, wasn't it? The temple's about to get cancelled. So I think it's Cortez Castro. I think that's the one. Yeah. And Joey Ryan are undercover cops.
Yeah.
So Cortez has been working there the whole time, undercover cop, and he's going to be joined by another, which is going to be Joey Ryan.
I can remember his name. I've got my notes. She's bringing in someone to help. It's the Dick Suplex guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that concludes episode 3.
You never saw that coming. You could never have called that in a million years.
No.
Imagine Big Rick had been an undercover cop. That'd be amazing. Wait, maybe yes.
Well, I mean, we can talk about at the end. We can maybe talk about some of the people we haven't seen yet, because there's some, not many, but there's a couple of names out there.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's definitely interesting. I feel like we've only 3 episodes. We've got a lot more cinematic and storyline B-movie type stuff going on, and I'm loving it.
I wonder if this was maybe a net. It sounded like they were going from season to season by the seat of their pants in terms of whether they were getting a TV deal to actually make these. So I wonder if there were maybe some network notes and ideas that were being thrown in there that, like, if you're leaning into the cinematic thing, just maybe lean in a wee bit more.
Yeah, hopefully continue. Okay, did you enjoy that episode?
I did, and I enjoyed that ending, which is, I'm not overly enthusiastic about Joey Ryan, but in terms of the storyline, just this wrinkle of, what's going on here, and then you could have all sorts of things happening from here.
Yeah. I wonder what the captain, I think her name was Captain Vasquez, I wonder what they've got in Dario Cueto. You imagine his files just like War and Peace size.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Okay, let's get to episode 4, which is called Zero Miedo. Yes. We start in Katrina's office with Ivelisse, and she is told by Katrina that she is lucky to be alive. Ivelisse, regardless, Ivelisse doesn't be told things like that. She just batters through them.
Yes.
I like Katarina says, well, if it isn't the baddest bitch in the temple or something like that. Ivelisse wants Trios titles. That's what she wants back. And Katarina says, no. But there is another Trios team ready to fight them instead. And she can see how they get on against them and then have another conversation. So that takes us straight into that, which is our first match, which is our love triangle, taking on Chavo, Guerrero returning, and the crew.
Yeah.
Now that we know that Cortez Castro is not this little guy who seems to just sort of disappear into the background as part of these two sort of gangbanger type characters, it makes it a lot more interesting to see what he's actually doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we get this trios match, and Chavo Guerrero is back to his old tricks. He's never changed because he waits for... Ivelisse is beating the crap out of this guy that's undercover cop for quite some time.
Yeah.
Chavo waits until the guy eventually gets some offense in and tags himself in.
He's really funny with it, folks. Obviously, the chicken shit heel thing has been done everywhere to death, but I don't know, I just find him entertaining with it.
He's got he is really good. He's got that sort of angry, aggressive face on him, and then he does these things where he's like, hands up, and it wasn't me. We do get Ivelisse fighting back against Mr. Cisco, and she gets Son of Havoc in. He, in turn, kind of gets a bit of a beating as well, and we get a bit of a classic tag team stuff going on as they eventually get a hot tag to Angelico, who would be my last choice for a hot tag, and that's even with Ivelisse on crutches. But he attempts to run wild, doing his he seems to only be able to use his knees. It kind of bothers me a little bit. He does manage to... He hits a big dive over the top. And did the other two hit moonsaults at the same time? They're doing a bit of a...
Yes.
Like a synchronised type move. We get a 2-foot stomp by Angelico from the top rope. And that's enough for the 3. I think it was on the undercover. I think it was Cortez Castro that actually takes the pin, and Chavo is not amused. And I wonder if we're starting to see something already here.
Well, yeah, I thought this is quick for things to start breaking down, but I suppose it doesn't quite get the full chance to go there.
So I thought we might see Joey Ryan at that point, but we don't. We see your boy Tejano. He comes running in with his bull rope and that. He's going for Chavo, but Chavo pushes the crew towards him to give him something to take his anger out on, and Chavo manages to get out of dodge.
Yeah.
We then go to... They're going hard on the video packages, and I wondered if that is a early season thing, just as if there's new viewers or whatever.
Yeah.
We're getting Johnny Mundo doing probably as much sort of acting / talking as he's been required to do, almost in a sort of classic wrestling type way versus the B-movie stuff we've been talking about. He's talking about, I'm a main eventer, I'm a champ, I'm really a champion, I'm the one that's been the face of this company, all that sort of stuff. But Cage is in his way, and it's kind of portraying him as a sort of like a movie star type thing.
Yeah.
We go back to the locker room. This really amused me. So we're in the locker room. Cortez Castro is sitting on the bench after he's been defeated in that trios match, and Joey Ryan appears and he sits down next to him. This guy must be the worst undercover cop of all time because he mentions being an undercover cop in an open area about 6 times.
This is risky behaviour.
I've always been a better cop than you. All this sort of stuff. But anyway, Joey Ryan says, our job here is to make sure that people believe that we are luchadors, and I'm going to go out there and show people, so just watch. He genuinely did mention being a cop like so many times. Even Cortez Castro's like, stop mentioning that here, sort of thing, and he just taken no mind. I think he was munching away on a lollipop, and he takes it to the ring. Has he got baby oil with him?
I think so.
He's got like the hairiest. He's got like a really hairy chest and stomach. He's pouring the baby oil all down his hairy chest, and then he's pouring it down his trunks. And people
is a proper like hiding in plain sight. The guy looked and acts like he's probably a sexual predator, and then how can anyone be all that surprised?
Do you know what he was accused of? No,
I think I looked it up when I first saw him. Yeah,
is it like really bad?
I think it's. I'm trying to think if it was actually an assault or if it was just all inappropriate behaviour. I definitely looked it up.
I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
So we're going to get Joey Ryan debuting in Lucha Underground, and he's talking about going out there and showing Cortez Castro, how to behave, and he's taking on Cage. Do you notice how happy Melissa is announcing Cage? She's so happy. It's funny.
I don't know. I mean, really, she should probably just have him standing there every time she's doing a ring announcement. I should be a bit more confident about announcing Pentagon.
Exactly, yeah.
Cage just stood right there.
I'm immediately uncomfortable because Joey continues to keep that lollipop in his mouth as Cage is like rattling him against turnbuckles. Cage is awesome in this match. I've got that he's like a completely jacked up Braun Breaker. Vampiro, however, seems quite impressed by by Joey Ryan. He pulls off a nice suplex. But really, this is all about Cage sort of wrecking him.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. It's funny because he's like, this is probably all part of the character that he's supposed to be playing, because he's bad at being an undercover cop despite thinking he's amazing at it. And he's already been told our job is to go out there and make people believe that we're luchadors. But every time he actually executes a move, he looks as surprised as anyone else that he executed it effectively.
Yeah. I'm not loving him being in this, knowing that sort of stuff. I also think he's just really similar to Marty Martinez.
Yeah.
In look and sort of bumbling fool type.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how it plays out. Cage does this new move that I don't think we've seen him do before. It's the old Scott Steiner thing where it looks like he's going to kill a man. He's got him up in a suplex and drops him down at a pile driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that looks like it's enough to get the win. Do you remember if he actually pins him, or does
he pins him?
Does he pin him and then Johnny Mundo appears from behind him, spears him, cracking spear, beats him down, but again, Cage gets the better of him, hits the Weapon X.
Yeah, you don't fuck with Cage in this season.
He grabs the mic and he reiterates that he is in fact a machine. And the crowd are getting behind it in a sort of Son of Havoc type way.
Was this him this season with the mohawk? He didn't have that last time, did he?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, he just looks badass.
Aye, he does. He's come ready. We get a training montage of the El Dragon Azteca guy with him and Rey Mysterio. Apparently Rey Mysterio's picked up like taekwondo, karate, everything, really.
Yeah.
None of this swinging about 619 stuff here. But Ray tells him it's time for you to hear the history. It's time. He's doing his best Rafiki. He tells him it's time to hear the history of his family. I didn't pick up all this, but what I basically got from it was that Cueto's father became obsessed with making sacrifices and even sacrificed his own son, referring to Matanza, I assume.
Yeah.
So Ray says, you should not be looking for revenge on the Cuetos. You should be looking to reunite the 7 tribes, and that's the way to take revenge. Is that what you sort of gleamed from?
Yeah, I've got tells him he has to find the descendants of the 7 Aztec tribes and let them do battle again to unite. And yeah, that is apparently the first step in terms of trying to get back at Dario here.
And Dragon Azteca said, "Put down the bong, Ray." Interesting. This is not how I've seen Rey Mysterio making his entrance into this at all, but yeah, interesting stuff. Our well-hyped main event is going to be Prince Puma taking on Pentagon Jr. Let me see. Oh, yes, okay. So, yeah, you would think that this would be a number 1 contender or a something, but they've built it up to a grudge, haven't they?
Yeah.
They start off and we get a lot of countering going on. These two appear to have each other very well scouted, which you would expect. I love the Pentagon sort of field goal kick that he does, where he just leathers a guy in the thigh or the arse. It's difficult to talk about. There's so much good stuff. Lung blower by Penta coming out of the corner. He gets we get a springboard moonsault by Puma, and as he's coming down, Penta is travelling across the air and hits him with a drop kick in the face. It's just crazy, and Vampiro loves that. He's like chuckling and like the angles and all that sort of stuff. spinning heel kick by Puma, followed by the suplexes that he does. He does like a sort of fisherman suplex, then into a standing suplex, really nice. He goes for a 450 attempt, but Pentagon gets his knees up. He goes for the package pile driver. Does he? I think he does it, then puts him into a submission. Yes, that is what he does. He package pile driver, hits it, then goes into a sort of surfboard type submission. And it's at this point that you realise that Pentagon's shoulders are actually on the mat. And Puma's shoulders are on the mat as well. The referee starts counting. Puma gets his shoulders up for 2, but Pentagon does not because he's in the process of giving the submission. And Pentagon thinks he's won. After the 3 count, they start playing Puma's music, and the referee raises his hand, and Pentagon just immediately super kicks the ref. Quite funny. I think Vampiro is pretty upset with all this that's went on. But Puma, after Pentagon super kicked the ref, Puma gets a hold of him, and he goes to... He indicates that he's going to snap the arm, but instead he shows a mercy, shows the kind of man that he is, and rolls out the ring and shakes his head at him as if to say, I could have, but I'm not like you. I love that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that match?
I liked all of this. Like, there's some... Obviously, you expect some of the moves that you see, but there's something about Pentagon. Like, I've not seen an awful lot of him in the ring. I've not really seen anything beyond Lucha Underground of him in the ring. Some of the moves are quite inventive. Like, different. There's a power bomb where he drops him on the knee. He like extends his knee and drops him on his knee and things like that. It's just little different twists on things you're used to seeing. And a kind of a viciousness about it, which I like. It plays perfectly into his character. I think I want to see more of this with these guys. I'd happily see them have a program. The way they did the finish keeps Pentagon fully alive in this rivalry. He had the offensive move on when it happened. I like the way, obviously, we had a reaction from Vampiro when the angry, frustrated, disappointed reaction when the result didn't go his way, but then also the reaction when Puma looked like he was about to break Pentagon's arm. We also had the reaction from Mil Muertes when it looked like Puma was about to break Pentagon's arm.
Agitated, doesn't he?
Yeah, so it's the guy who was kind of his, main event foe at the end of season 1, the guy who took the title off, and the guy who's just put him on the shelf for however many weeks. So an interesting dynamic there. Enjoyed this. Thought it was a good match, and I thought it leaves you plenty of directions to go here as well.
Yeah, and now thinking about it, what you're saying about Vampiro's a lot during the match where he's saying he's going back to... He was getting quite frustrated when he was not seizing the opportunity.
Yes.
In the match. He's going back to his old self. He needs to get on top of him and all that sort of stuff. He was getting quite antsy, actually.
Yeah. Gonna have to step up, master.
Okay, we got a post-credit scene where Sexy Stars somehow managed to escape from wherever she's been held captive, or she's been sent off to... He did say to her it's almost time for her to stretch her wings, so she's made her way to the temple. And she is found by the Mac, and he asks her what happened and who did it. I think she says Marty.
Yeah.
And the Mac is like, oh, hell no. he kind of like goes to walk back towards where she came from, and they both look like horrified. Yeah. And she screams, "It's not him!" And then it goes off. Yeah. I am a little bit worried that it's going to be like Marty dressed in like a giant moth outfit or something.
Yeah, that's possible.
It can't be Matanz or anything, because that still needs to be worked out as far as where they are and how far away they are. And I'm getting like sort of Buffalo Bill type stuff from Marty. Maybe imagine that song. What's that song that was playing and he was dancing?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly the song.
Would you? do 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 do.
Funnily enough,
Wild horses.
That's it. I was thinking, I'm not actually getting flashbacks to Silence of the Lambs. I'm getting flashbacks to, is it Clerks 2?
Oh, there was a lot more tongue action there with Jason Mewes. So that's our first 4 episodes, and we're right back into it. Apart from the main event, you like the love triangle stuff, the Chavo stuff?
Yeah, I generally enjoyed it. I do worry a little bit where they're going with Marty the Moth, and even though, like you've got, I think, interesting situations. So you've got like people battling for the Gift of the Gods title all the while Mil Muertes isn't really ready to go right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the whole situation between Puma and Pentagon, which feels main event, and then you've also got Johnny and Cage, which feels main event as well. So yeah, I'm enthusiastic for this. Happy to see Tayano looking like he's back in the fold.
I love how much you like Tayano.
I'm curious to see, there's some people we haven't seen yet, so I mentioned that a bit earlier. We haven't seen Big Rick yet. Is he still going to be there? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? There's plenty of time in the season, but he's not there right now. I'd like to see a bit more. I'd like to see them do something a bit more interesting, maybe with Rey Mysterio. It's not quite grabbing me just now where they're at with that. These situation with the undercover cops intrigues me in terms of storyline, like where they're going to go with that.
Yeah.
I'm happily back in the temple.
Excellent. I'll give you the titles of our next 4 episodes. So, Episode 5 is titled simply "The Machine."
Yep.
Episode 6, "Gift of the Gods Ladder Match."
Yep.
Fantastic. "Death Comes in Threes" is episode 7.
Okay.
And episode 8 is "Life After Death."
Okay.
Don't think that's got anything to do with Biggie Smalls. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have... just looked at someone I should know. Anyway, I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else we might be missing. Who was the one that had the series with Aerostar? Oh, it was Drago, and we've got him back.
Drago.
Yeah. There was another one that was a bit like Aerostar, but I can't remember. Was it no. I can't remember, but I remember sending you a screenshot of him because he was sitting in the crowd in an NXT showing not that long ago, but I can't remember who it was again.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we've seen a lot of the guys. What's his name? Do
you think Alberto El Patron is?
That's the name I was trying to remember.
I feel like they had the. Did Mundo beat him? Yes, because his wife helped him, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, and then he got his own back, didn't he? Didn't he do something? Did he?
Yes, he left him like pouring with blood through it.
Yeah. So I don't, he wouldn't need to be in it all the time. He could just appear at a point.
I'm sure he went to wrestle for Jeff Jarrett's TNA. Right. Remember what was that called again? Remember around about 2016, I think he went and wrestled for Jeff Jarrett's like TNA alternative after Jeff.
Was it Global Force?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, like you never know what's happened, I suppose, do you?
Yeah. But yeah, he was the other that I wonder. Alberto was kind of the name that I thought, well, we haven't seen him yet, but I mean, he was only in so many episodes in season 1. It's not like he was there particularly regularly. Hopefully, we don't have to see Duvari.
Oh God, please!
Hopefully, short-lived. Hernandez was another. It just didn't really work, did it? So
I get the feeling we won't see Hernandez again. I don't know.
Okay.
I wonder if we'll get more women. I would imagine we'll maybe get more women. I wonder if we get a women's like not even a title, but just more of a woman. I quite like that they do the open gender type stuff.
Yeah, the way they do it works.
Aye.
It's different. I think if it looked and felt really real,
if it was one-sided,
you'd
and
maybe feel a bit uncomfortable with it. But the way they're doing it here,
it's good. It's always a sort of underdog type way. But we didn't have any sexy star roll-ups in 4 episodes, so that's been good as well. Not that I condone what Marty's doing. That's unacceptable.
We may not know the half of what Marty's been doing.
Oh dear. Oh dear. What horrible phrasing that you've just used there. Okay. Right, we'll watch next 4 and we'll get into whatever is to come next.
Excellent.
I'm going to ask you for a prediction of who will be champion by the last episode.
So far away.
Try and remember it, because I think we did this the last time and I couldn't remember who we said.
So early on, it just feels like it's going to be the year of Cage, so I'm going to say Cage.
Okay, I was going to say Cage as well, so I'll say someone different just for fun. King Cuerno.
Okay. Nice.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Right, 2 weeks' time we'll be back with more temple action. Until then, please watch Lucha Underground. It's far better than any other wrestling show ever made. Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks. You take it easy, Adam.
Cheers.